What's up, what's up, what's up, you beautiful and sexy you? You are tuned in to Get What You Want with host Jessica Brothers. Sharing these secrets to feeling powerful, healthy, and ageless so you can stop that cycle you're in and break free to live the incredible quality of life you deserve. Welcome to the Get What You Want podcast. This episode is sponsored by freehealthybook.com. If you would like to know why you feel tired, unmotivated, and can't lose that last weight, and how to start feeling powerful, healthy, and ageless, then go to freehealthybook.com. Welcome to the Get What You Want podcast, the Hack Your Health series with host Jessica Brothers and Dr. Michelle Lynn.
Hi everyone. Just a quick disclaimer. This is for education purposes only. This is not a medical advice, so please see your doctor before you implement anything that we talk about.
Thank you. Enjoy the show. What's up, what's up, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Get What You Want podcast in the Hack Your Health series with host Jessica Brothers and Dr. Michelle Lynn. On today's beautiful episode, we are going to talk about habits, the 6 habits to put into your day every day to really optimize your health. Get ready. Here we go. Well, here we have another beautiful episode on the Get What You Want podcast. It is the Hack Your Health series with your host, Jessica Brothers, and Dr. Michelle Lynn. Thank you for being here again, Michelle.
Thank you so much. I'm always thrilled to be here.
Yes, we have another great episode coming your way, guys. I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about a few different things, but mainly about habits. Let's dive into habits and some habits that you should start thinking about if you really want to elevate your health. You want to become a healthier you. Wouldn't you say that's correct, Dr. Michelle?
Yes, there's a lot of things you could do to just make your life better and to make you healthier. If we implement these habits, some of these could be life-changing.
Yes. And that's what we want for everyone. We want to change lives for a happier, healthier, more powerful, more confident, ageless, right? Life for everyone. We all deserve that. And so that is why Dr. Michelle and I hop on here and do the Hack Your Health series, because we really want to provide you the right information, empower you with the right information so that you can be in control. You can be an advocate for your health. So let's dive in, Dr. Michelle. What is the first habit or what we want to talk about with habits? Why are habits important?
Habits are very important because they help give you structure. We are animals and creatures of habit. So by creating things that we use daily, it gives us stability. It also takes away decision fatigue. So by developing these habits and making them an everyday thing, the using up like your daily decision making is going to be less taxed. And for people that are high performing individuals, entrepreneurs, performers, doctors, anybody really, like you only have so much brain power in the day.
It's so true. It's so true. And putting habits in place, like I used to say all the time when I was teaching and doing videos on meal planning and meal prepping, because we have to eat, right? And the question that I found that a lot of the people found the most daunting was at the end of the day when people would be like, "What's for dinner, mom?" And like you just want to like pull your hair out. And that question is so stressful at that time of day because we exhaust our limit of decisions and choices to be made. Yeah, so this is incredible. What we want to start with in habits.
So let's start with the first thing in the morning when you wake up.
Yes, I love this.
All right. So when you wake up, it should be at the same time every day. NASA has done extensive studies on the sleep-wake cycle. So they found that if you wake up at the same time every day, you could actually train your body to be optimized at that time. So if you wake up before the sun comes out, that's okay. There are cheats to get yourself more alert. And so this is kind of the next habit you develop after waking up at the same time every day, is that you want light exposure. So for me, I wake up before the sun. So I need a happy light. It's a 10,000 lux light that you can buy anywhere. And what it does is it gives your eyes the signal that, hey, it's daytime. So you have it put about 6 feet, kind of diagonal to your view. You don't want it straight ahead because it will burn out your retinas. So diagonal from your direct vision, okay? And with that, 30 minutes of that changes the signals in your brain to say, okay, I'm awake, it's morning, I'm starting my day. My chemicals are going to change from nighttime chemicals to daytime chemicals.
I love that. Yes. And as you know, I also too wake up before the sun, and I get asked quite a lot. I was just interviewed yesterday about my morning routine, my diligence for my morning routine. So I definitely, you are talking my language. You all know that I love my morning routine and I'm true to it. So I'm loving this topic right now. This is incredible, but I don't, however, have a happy light yet. I might have to try that. Go ahead. So what's next?
So next for a lot of people is caffeine. There's a right time to take it. Your caffeine should be taken at least 90 minutes after you wake up. And here's the reason why. Sleep pressure is caused by a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine fills your receptors and causes sleep pressure and makes you go to bed. So in order to make your caffeine, because caffeine is a drug, it's natural, and I don't have anything against it, but we want to use it strategically instead of pounding back, multiple cups of coffee throughout the day. So you want it to, the adenosine to touch all the receptors in that first 90 minutes and then clear out. If you don't, they kind of hang around and wait for the caffeine to disappear. So if you gulp down that cup of coffee and you're a metabolizer of coffee, 4 hours later, you're going to be tired. Or for a lot of people, they drink coffee throughout the day, and then after lunch, they get very, very tired around 2 or 3 o'clock. So if we could just get rid of the remaining adenosine that's just floating around in that 90 minutes, you're going to make your caffeine last.
Wow, that's incredible. I bet so many people listening to this right now are like, oh my gosh, that's why I get tired afterwards. Or that's why I start yawning at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. That is such a beautiful nugget of knowledge right there that you shared, because it's true. Those biochemicals inside our body, when we get that light, they change, and I understand that the first light of the sun coming up is our most nourishing light. And I've always waited for that, for sure, because when I wake up, I do my meditations, and I do my breathing, so I flood my body with that oxygen after I flight with sea salt water. But that happy light, yeah, it's very interesting, and I love that little tidbit about caffeine. That's huge. Awesome. So what's after that? What's next?
So what's next usually for people is their breakfast, right? So think about the word breakfast. It means to break your fast. It doesn't mean eat immediately when you wake up. It really means, just break your fast overnight. So having intermittent fasting be a trend right now is actually very, very helpful. There's a lot of studies out there, and there are controversial studies. Like there are studies where they conflict, the information conflicts with each other. So some say it's bad, some say it's good, some say it's helpful, some say it's not. But overall, what we're seeing is that there's no reason to eat a breakfast unless you are going to be extremely physically active, and you need that that fuel to burn and to be effective. So really think about your routine. And this is where your habits, you have to see what your lifestyle is before you decide whether or not you eat breakfast. If you are someone that is heavier, that is sedentary, let's push off that breakfast until later on in the day. And when we do that, we give our guts rest, which is really important, because when our guts don't rest and they're constantly going, we get bacterial imbalances. And then we also get nervous system fatigue, because your guts are the next biggest brain in your body. So let's give them that rest. If you're sedentary, if you're a little bit more overweight, because we know that when we do allow that to occur, the calorie intake is definitely less, and the hunger drive can be pushed back even further, so that your window of eating is smaller, and the insulin signaling and the hormone signalings for hunger drive are better controlled.
Question here.
Yeah.
What if someone is hypoglycemic?
You know, hypoglycemic people can still fast. You can actually train your body to accept hypoglycemia. So the way to adjust that is by adjusting it in about 45-minute increments. So if you're someone that wants to intermittent fast, but you're starting to notice, hey, I'm not doing so well, maybe just push it back 45 minutes. Or what you could do is drink water. You kind of trick the system a little bit by drinking water, like a nice big glass of water. And you adjust it incrementally that way. But I've have multiple diabetics in my clinic fasting, and they don't do really long fasts, but you know, they could intermittent fast and have one meal a day or 2 meals a day.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I too, I believe you as well, Michelle. I do intermittent fasting throughout every day too. I do it at different times depending on my schedule. I'm definitely not one to do it in the morning, I will admit, because I go to the gym and I get lightheaded if I don't have my greens with my protein in the morning. I've tried. And, you know, so for me, and this just goes to show that, you know, listen to your body maybe, right?
Yeah.
For me, I like to fast either in the middle of the day, from like after my post-workout nutrition to maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to fast for that entire window, which is usually like 9:30 to 3 p.m. Or I will end eating at, you know, noon to 2 o'clock and go until the next morning as well. So those are usually my fasting times. When do you typically fast?
So I'm a morning faster. I usually like to skip breakfast or breakfast and eat closer to 11 o'clock noon, and try to end my meals between 6 and 7 p.m. But I go to bed early too. So I was hoping that I could get it a little tighter. But, you know, sometimes I'm not done till 6 or 7.
Yeah, of course. And the lesson there is to be good with yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to be very forgiving of yourself. And, you know, when things happen, you don't deny yourself. You just find a fix. And so, you know, with my lifestyle, I do need to eat in the evening, but I try to make my meals such that they aren't cumbersome for my metabolic system. So it's definitely a lighter meal, and it's higher in vegetables. And that is actually when I do most of my carbs, is at night. So it has time to burn off.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Now, when it comes to breaking that fast, because I get asked this question a lot, what do you recommend is best to intake for nutrition when you break your fast?
Okay, so that's very individual as well. So I would say when you break your fast, I start with Athletic Greens or AG1. AG1, if you're listening, we would love your sponsorship.
Yes, we would.
So what's unique about AG1 is that it's a vegetable based or a plant based blend of vitamins, and it has prebiotics, probiotics. And what I do is I add oil to it because I'm trying to absorb as much as I can because of my lifestyle and my body's needs. So, with that said, it's not that everybody needs to do that. It's you need to look at your activity level. So, like you need to eat in the mornings because you're going to the gym and you're working out and you're working out hard. So, first, basically, you're burning everything that you're intaking. I don't do that. I move my workout times to later on in the day. So if someone has a physical job, load up on whatever you need. So sometimes that is high protein, sometimes that is high carb, especially for those that do burst type energy. High carb seems to be helpful. But if you're on a certain type of diet, like a ketogenic diet or a protein rich diet, feel free to have whatever you need to sustain you.
Yes, absolutely. I would just add that you got to make sure that whatever you are eating feeds the good bacteria in your digestive tract as
Yeah.
well. And you've got that's super important when you're breaking that fast, making sure that you're feeding that good bacteria as opposed to the bad bacteria. Makes a whirlwind of difference in how you feel or the cravings that you'll have throughout the day. So that's definitely important as well. Cool. All right. What's next?
So now we could talk about when to work out. This
Okay.
is very controversial and it's very individual as well. But you want to find out what kind of workout person you are. So I'm opposite of you. If I work out, I will fall asleep. the the dopamine surge is very relaxing for me. And the adrenaline kind of leaves my system very quickly. So I have my adrenaline when I'm working out. I feel it. I feel good. I get that high, and then the dopamine comes in, and I sleep really, really well. So I work out in the evening. Other
Mhm.
people, they have a very good ability to sustain that adrenaline throughout the day, and it gives them that boost, that wake up call.
Yes. I of course I'm going to go to genetics. I wonder if that's a difference between fast response or a fast um, MAOA gene or a slow MAO gene, depending because that's the gene that really determines whether we metabolize dopamine fast or we it stays in our system and metabolizes slow. So that's the first thing I think of is what is their gene expression like, especially on that one. That's really interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that is very interesting, and you're actually the expert at this. I don't know the gene expression that would cause these differences. So that'd be very interesting to find out.
It would. It really, really would. So I love this stuff. Okay. So waking up at the same time every day,
Mhm.
breaking your fast, maybe experimenting with the intermittent fast is really, really important. And then when to work out. That's what we've talked about so far, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what's next?
So let's talk about hot and cold exposure.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. I love
the
it. Okay.
coolest. So I think a lot of people know about the cold exposure, about jumping into like a cold ocean or a cold bath. And just so you know, the water does not need to be very, very cold. You don't need ice in there. It can be 70 degrees. You still get benefit. So let me tell you about the benefits. When you go into like a cold shower, say it's room temperature 70 degrees, and you move around, the whole point is to move around and be uncomfortable. And go ahead and be uncomfortable for a good 4 minutes, up to 11 minutes. Although, if you're going to do 11 minutes, like get in a bath, don't let your shower run. But it helps your immune system. It also helps you with temperature changes. So you're able to tolerate colder temperatures in this case. It also opens up your adrenals, and you spill all this epinephrine, and you can actually get a high from this. And all that helps your vessels open up. It wakes up your brain, and it just does wonderful things for your body with all the hormonal and chemical signaling that goes on with cold.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And there, your liver also releases these really beautiful proteins, these cold shock proteins when
Mhm.
you go into a colder temperature, which stimulate your immune system. But those cold proteins will go right to your fat stores and use them for energy for what it needs it for. So there's and those that release is endless. It's not like it's
Yeah.
just a little amount, like it's endless. So you stay in that cold bath for 11 minutes. I mean,
Mhm.
like so much good stuff happens. I love
Right.
that. Absolutely. And what's the difference between that and the hot therapy, the hot temperature?
All right. So the hot, we usually recommend a sauna. So saunas, you could be in there for a while. With that said, though, you want to be careful both with hot and cold. You want to be careful depending on your health. Your time of exposure and temperatures could vary. You want to go into what's tolerable, and you'll have to talk to your doctor about that. So with hot, we recommend saunas. They could be around 178, 180 degrees, I want to say, and you could modulate your time. It could be,
Mm.
a few minutes, or it could be 30 minutes. So what hot does is it mimics cardiovascular exercise. So forget about the treadmill. When you exercise, you don't have to do the treadmill. Go ahead and get into a sauna and sweat it out. You will feel your heart rate go up, your vessels will open, and your brain will also just kind of bloom. They've seen that people that do sauna, their mental health is better, and they're able to be a little more resilient against stress. They're also resilient against deep mood changes. There's also some what we call anecdotal evidence showing that people that take homework into their sauna and like read, or they discuss something with their friend in the sauna, it helps them retain, and it helps them experience and retain and talk about and develop things that they don't feel that they would normally develop or have if they were just at a conference table or at their desk. So that's very fascinating.
Mm. I love that. So everyone listening right now is cheering that they don't have to do cardio anymore. I'm with them. And I love my saunas too. So
Yeah.
I hope everyone is just as happy about that, hearing that as I am. Even though I knew it, I still love hearing it. So that's incredible. So far, habits, waking up at the same time every day, super beneficial. Optimize your body. Breaking your fast, maybe hold off on breakfast and try out some sort of intermittent fasting. Super good for our gut health, brain activity, our nervous system, really, really awesome. And then we're talking about when to exercise, finding a time that is best for you. Some people are morning, some people are afternoon, some people are evening. That's great. Now we're talking about hot and cold therapy and the benefits of that and how to use them and use them both as well. Get the benefits from both of them. This is awesome. Awesome. What's next?
Okay, now we're going to wind down our day.
Okay.
So it is important to have a nighttime ritual.
Mm.
And this is where when you go to the doctor, they'll say, oh, sleep hygiene, no lights, take a bath, and stay away from your phones, and read a book. So all that is true. but you don't have to do all of them. So it's important that when nighttime comes, whenever nighttime is for you, because there are people that are night owls, and that's okay. Part of it's genetic, although it could be trained out of you.
Yes.
So about an hour before you go to bed, all
Mhm.
the lights should be dimmed. There's no more computer, no more phone. Even with the filters on, the amount of light that gets through still stimulates your eyes and your brain like the happy light does, to tell you your body that, hey, it is daytime and I need to keep going.
Mm.
So when we do that, it allows melatonin to build up. Melatonin is a natural hormone within your body, and it changes, it signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. So, along with adenosine, they work together. That's what gets you to sleep and helps you heal and, dump everything from the day and clean the brain. So, the light is probably the most important thing that you do. As far as what you do after that, that is completely up to you. You need to quiet your brain. So sometimes that means meditation. Sometimes that means easy reading. Sometimes it's journaling, just to, dump all your thoughts and to be able to move on from them, because otherwise they just cycle. Our brains do that. Our brains think, hey, if I have to hang on to this, I'm just going to repeat it in my mind. If you put it down on paper, it's cathartic. It allows you to let it go and allows your brain to shut off and stop. So anything warm also helps with sleep. So herbal teas, even if, the milk and honey, I think is big in European tradition. And I hear that from some of my patients, and I think that's very sweet. So to do something like that at night is fine. Also, if you are a bath person, having that bath definitely helps you get to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. I take a hot shower at night. I take a hot shower and then I get out and I put on my sleep meditation sounds that I listen to, and I sit there and I write my goals, and then I write things I'm proud of myself in that day, whether it's accomplishments, things I did, things how I reacted to certain things, but things I'm proud of, things that celebrate me. Which is huge for me, and I highly recommend people who want more confidence or want more self-worth or want more being present in the moment too. It really helped me with that. But my mind used to spin until I started brain dumping. I call it brain dumping, where I would write down like things I want to do tomorrow, or whatever's coming to mind. I've even been known to, and I'm a solid sleeper, but in the rare case, sometimes I'll wake up at midnight or 2 in the morning and like have this creative burst of stuff. And I used to just kind of push it aside and be like, oh, just remember it for the morning. But what you said, it cycles like, oh, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. And that's all I could think about and not fall back asleep. So now I don't even fight it anymore. I get up and I just write it all down. So usually it ends up in pictures, me drawing it.
Yeah.
And then it's all out and then I can go back to sleep. So that's
Mhm.
all, extremely, extremely helpful.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Michelle, what is your nighttime ritual look like?
So my nighttime rituals is actually quite hectic because my house is full of fur babies. So
It's true.
yeah. So we feed them closer to bedtime, and we give them a very short walk to go to the bathroom. And I that is when I wash my face. I like the warmth on my face. Something about that just signals, oh, okay, it's time to let everything go. Um, my husband likes to read a verse of the Bible, and
Mm.
so I'm not sure if it's comforting or if it's boring, but I do start feeling tired after that.
We won't tell.
So yeah, that it's a very short ritual for me. Um, but I feel like that and settling the dogs in because they all have their spots. Um,
Mm,
and just being able to sit and kind of review my day. I if I write things down, I usually do it earlier on my phone because so I could just kind of get rid of all that. And so in my mind, I just you know wipe through my day, kind of like wipe the slate clean. And depending on the night, sometimes I will put on like a sleep story because
mm.
I like listening to things. And then other times I just fall asleep.
Yes, yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. So having a set time to wake up every morning to optimize your body. Then once you do get up, um, making sure that you break your fast with something that's good for your gut, but maybe that is also a time to do your intermittent fasting as well. So maybe hold off on breakfast and see how you feel. And then figure out a time when your workout is good for you. Is it good in the morning? Is it good in the afternoon? Is it good in the evening? And then the benefits of hot and cold temperature changes, and utilizing them for your health and where they fit your lifestyle. And then a bedtime ritual, which really, I always say your morning starts the night before, because
Yeah.
if you want particular sleep. So maybe that I'm not sure what you have next on your list. Do you want to talk about sleep cycles and the importance of that, or what's next on the list before I jump ahead?
No, that was it. I think we went through the day. I would love to talk about sleep and sleep cycles.
Yes, I think let's end it on talking about that, the subject of sleep cycles, because if we're going to wake up at the same time every morning and we're going to start a bedtime ritual, I think it's really important for everyone listening to understand the importance of sleep, of getting enough sleep, because number one, you can't make up sleep. You have 24 hours to get in your sleep cycles for your body. There's no, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or, oh, I'll just make it up on the weekend. You're really being super detrimental to your health with that kind of perspective. So let's help our listeners understand how much sleep they should get in a night so they can plan their wake up and their bedtime as part of their evening ritual. Let's dive into that a little bit.
Yes. So unless you're a mutant, which there are mutants out there that only sleep for 4 or 5 hours and they do fine, it's because they have a gene expression that allows them to efficiently clear the junk from their brain. Because that's really what sleep is to clear the junk from your brain. And it prevents problems like heart attacks and strokes and metabolic disease like diabetes. So your ideal sleep amount for most people is around 3 to 4 sleep cycles. So this could be, 9 hours for some. So we say anywhere from 7.5 to 9. So sleep cycles occur in about 90 minutes. And in those 90 minutes, you have different stages. And the important thing is that you reach REM and your deep sleep. Those are the most healing. REM sleep is the most chaotic, but that is when the defragging of your brain happens. Everything is organizing and getting put into the right places. And then in the deep sleep, everything kind of gets dumped and reset for the next day. And you need to do that multiple times each night. So when you decide your sleep time, so always plan backwards. So decide, okay, this is the time when I want to wake up because I want to do X, Y, and Z in the morning before I go to work. And from there, you want to count back. So my ideal sleep time is 7.5 hours. And then I built in my hour of chaotic ritual that is somehow relaxing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, that REM sleep is really, really important. And I know there's all kinds of technology out today as well to track your sleep. They have the rings, they have a bracelet now. They even have apps that I'm thinking would be connected to the technology that will actually wake you up as you're coming out of your sleep cycles before
Mm,
you dive and start all over again, which I think is super awesome because you're best to wake up as you're coming out of your last sleep cycle before you go back into your next sleep cycle. That is the optimal time to wake up instead of being
yeah,
woken up with bzz, 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 bzz in the middle of a REM cycle,
uh,
right?
yeah, exactly. And that's why you can actually sleep too much, because you kind of start losing that efficacy into
Mm,
like the sleep cycle that's extra. And then so you'll wake up in REM and you'll feel dizzy and you'll feel like off, and you'll be off until you take a nap or you go to sleep that day. So yes, waking up at the right time is imperative.
mm.
Unless you wake up with enough adrenaline to, get you out of bed, and to get you alert for whatever emergencies occurring. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard
Yes,
on you today because you're in the middle of cleaning house.
yes, yes. I have read a few studies. So I would love your point of view on this. Maybe you've read the studies too, where if you take a really cold shower for about 7 minutes, or you sit in an ice bath for about 7 minutes, it can pop you out of that state.
Oh, yeah. I have heard about that study, and I think they attribute it to the epinephrine that gets released, the adrenaline that gets released. And so I don't know how long how it works, if it works on everybody, and how long does it last for.
Mm, got
Um,
it.
yeah, that's where I don't know about the study, but I mean, it's definitely worth a try rather than being groggy all day long.
Just go take an ice bath, freeze your
Yeah.
butt off a little bit, and pop yourself out of that deep sleep cycle. Wake
Yeah.
up, and get that fogginess cleared out. This has been truly amazing, Michelle. I absolutely love this. I think everyone listening should have a ton of notes right now. They have a really good framework on where to start taking more control of their health. I mean, sleep is number one because if you're tired, your cells are they're pissed off. They are. Your cells are very angry when you're tired. Plus, when you're tired, you're not mentally all there, so you're already exhausted, or some of your choice decision making, I would think, is going to be exhausted a lot sooner. And your choices are going to be coming from a perspective or a filter of you being tired as well. So you're probably not going to make the best choices for yourself, on top of the fact that I know for me and for many people, and usually in biology has shown that when you're tired, you have many cravings too. Like
Yes.
it's wild.
Yeah.
So sleep is so important for brain health, for physical health, for cellular health, just for your mental sakeability throughout the day,
Mhm.
and everyone you're interacting with too, for their sake.
Yeah. That's great that you bring up interaction. When you don't sleep, everything looks like a threat to you. So you start not being able to read people's faces, and everything becomes menacing. So I have patients that think they have anxiety or think they have a mood disorder, but no, they just need sleep, because not everything around them or everybody around them is trying to get at them. And so when we correct this problem, I don't need to use medication sometimes.
I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. I've never heard it quite in that way, and you made that so clear. Wow, incredible, incredible. See, more proof that when you fix our internal, everything on the external can shift.
Yes.
I love that. Awesome, awesome. Is there any last thing you'd like to share before we go?
Well, we have more episodes, so I will save some of my thoughts for those. But
Yes.
take your time with habits. Habits don't occur overnight, and you have to adjust, and you have to be forgiving of yourself, because not every day is the same, and not every season of our life is the same. So don't be afraid to adjust and just try things out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Be good to yourself. Perfection, number one, doesn't exist, and we can't change everything overnight. You want little things. And I always recommend choosing the things that are easy for you to do first. Maybe the things that mean most to you, the things that you're like, oh, this is easy. I would really like to implement this. Start with those. And once they become a habit, you have more confidence that you can do a next thing. But prove to yourself first that you can make positive changes in your life, and then you have the ability to adapt more and more and more of those things. And as you do those little changes, those little incremental things add up to huge results. They compound, and you'll look back and be like, wow, these little things that I did have really, really changed my life. So I want everyone to realize, hey, be good to yourself, love yourself more, and be proud of the little things that you do, because those little things over time will change your life. 100%. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, as always, my beautiful Dr. Michelle, for being on the Get What You Want podcast during our Hack Your Health series live. This is live just because we I guess put it all together after this. It's not like you guys are hearing this live, but this is completely done live. There's nothing premeditated about our calls. Everything on the Get What You Want podcast is raw, real, organic, and that's how we do it. That's how we love it,
Yes.
for sure. So thank you again for being with us, Dr. Michelle.
Thank you so much. I love sharing.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked what you heard tonight, definitely hit that subscribe button or that follow button, or wherever you are tuning in. There is a button there to make sure you get our next episode or re-listen to this episode. We love that you are here. We hope that you got some really valuable information. We hope that you are going to make at least one change in your future, hopefully tomorrow. Lots of love, everyone. Until next time, love yourself today. Rock your day. Own your day. Much love. Adios.